Hey guys, what's going on? Let me know if you guys can hear me or not. See my screen as well. Should be seeing the dashboard right now. Hey Bush, can you confirm you can hear me? Yeah, we can. Cool. All right. We will get going then. I know we got 9 minutes to the open. Issued the sprinkler on this morning, so I had to deal with that on my yard. Fun way to start on Monday. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll get into pre-market prep. You know, this is a quick refresher for those that are not familiar with this. This is all laid out in the Discord, so if you guys are new in SPX Game Plan, that's where we have a robust pre-market prep. Go through SPX-A, SPX-P, both the full complex and the near-term expirations, just so we can understand from multi-day or multi-week kind of swing trading time frame, how is the market positioned? Is that supportive of, you know, continued bullish conditions through time? Because remember, the options market are inherently forward-looking, so we can leverage those future out expirations to understand how positioning is either bullish, bearish, or is somehow in the middle and changing. So right, we cover SPX-A, then we cover SPX-P, the full complex that is. You know, net, you know, both of those structures are still fairly bullish. Don't see anything there super concerning yet. But you guys can give that a read through. We're going to go to 0DT and, you know, some single stock stuff just because that is where, just given time. One thing to note, market trend model had a strong day on Friday. Everything looks good there so far. Obviously, I know there's a little bit of weakness this morning, but based off the data right now, we don't see anything super concerning with that. Obviously, you know, if we start to see significant selling intraday, both in terms of the market trend model and volume, then that could potentially change our tune. But right now, nothing super concerning. Right, longer term, shorter term time frames, both of these look constructive right now. If we started to see the cumulative tick lose the railroad tracks like we saw back on the 21st, something like that intraday, that'd be kind of a concerning, very short-term signal, but we do not see that right now. Had large significant buying throughout this session on Friday. Moving next to, guys, I'll try and talk louder too, but if it's not working, let me know. Then I'll have to figure something out after this. Moving to SPX 0DTE. Here we have, the 0DT structure. We have our key transition zone outlined in the orange box. That'd be 63.90 to the upside, to the downside, that'd be 63.60. So what that means is, you know, we expect more choppy price action in between this zone. We're much more wanting to interact with the market once we get above this zone or below this zone. In the middle of this zone is really no good, just in terms of choppy price action should be expected. So a little bit harder to trade within our, we call it the drunken sailor range because just of that, price meanders within the zone typically. So again, that's why we want to see, you know, if we are able to break back through the upside, which I think right now we're trading at 63.96, 6,400 more or less. So we know 6,400, that's kind of a key psychological level. Just looking at the distribution of speculation from the net open interest column, which is what that represents, we can see there is kind of meaningful position there as well. So that's going to be a key level of reference as we open. And then let me just bring up the chart here too. So here we have the drunken sailor range in the, what is that? The shaded box, 6,400 here, 6,420, which is kind of our upside, short-term upside zone. noted there. So you can see we're opening right at 6,400. So we're going to get a lot of information to see if we're if we just chop around in here, really probably not much to do. However, either, a couple of different paths, obviously, as we collapse, play within the drunken sailor range, which isn't super attractive, or we're able to hold 6,400, progress our way up to 6,420. What other? So above 6,420, 6,460 is kind of the key upside strike for the day. Just again, looking at the distribution of the speculation, 16,000 net contracts sitting there. That's a massive strike, likely not getting above that. And from 6,420 to 6,460, not necessarily going to be a straight line either. We're going to need to see significant buying come into the market to help support that. Reason being is kind of thin air up there. If you just look at the put open interest, there's basically zero once we get above 6,420. So the kind of fear component and those contracts being closed out to help propel us higher is not going to be there. So again, that's why we need to leverage our intraday volume analysis, seeing what the cumulative tick, filter tick are telling us in terms of if we're seeing serious buying helping to propel us higher. So the upside case is pretty clear to the downside. Really not going to get super fearful, for lack of a better term, on an intraday basis till we lose first 63.70, then 63.60. Below 63.60, ideally we see market trend model starting to fail lower, volume metrics via our intraday volume analysis starting to trend lower as well. And then I'd kind of be more interested looking for short side trades if that were to take place. So hopefully this visualization is clear. I don't have anything else really to say on SPX right now. Inside the green zone, looking at the yellow arrows, iffy, back and forth action. Above, looking for kind of acceleration higher. Below, looking for kind of acceleration lower. Keep in mind, all of this is predicated on seeing that intraday volume analysis trending lower or higher as well. By intraday volume analysis, right, I simply just mean, if you're not familiar with it, so we have a couple different commands. This is just our, we call it the vol command, but we're just looking at SPX 0DT volume, trending that across the session, looking at the distribution, 5-minute slices, just so we can get information about character price action and where price is likely to go throughout the remainder of the session. Just showing you kind of what that looks like on an intraday basis. This is what it looks like on Friday. This was at 1:50 Eastern Standard Time, so we could see what the transaction had been up until that point and where price was likely to go from there. So that's how we use that. Going to single stocks now. If you guys have questions, 0DT, let me know. I can get to those in a minute. Looking at our single stocks here, we just have our pre-market scripts overlaid. These are the full complex levels. Really what I'm seeing is there's not a ton to do right now. We can see all of these tickers are really not opening near key levels. Key levels really being P-trans if we're looking for upside trades. Like NVIDIA, we can see rejected off 175 in the pre-market, which is expected because that's kind of our kind of natural profit-taking zone to the upside. Largest gamma strike, potential monetization happening there. So seeing that level not clear, not surprising at all for that not to happen. But again, yeah, just not seeing a ton to do right now. Maybe Google, if it's able to get above 195, maybe see a move to 200. Keep that in mind. Let's see what else we got. Just looking at a couple different others. I didn't want to change that screen. If you guys have stocks you want to look at, let me know. I'll just go through the big ones. So looking at Palantir, No Man's Land. Looking at Hood. Yeah, so it failed. Interacted well with 107, which from a bullish point of view, this is level you want to see hold. Did not. Ouch. Shit, that was loud. So the market just opened FYI at 9:30. But yeah, did not hold. However, we know that COTMP, if you've been reading our newsletters and whatnot, this is kind of a secondary level that needs to hold. So yeah, so really, if you're wanting to get long Hood right now, granted it's gone parabolic for a long time, 107 is the key level that we need to get above there. Looking at coin, nothing to do there right now. 390 can be key level to the downside. That's really all I got right now. Not sure if there's any other questions, any other single stocks you guys want to look at. If not, then we can transition back into the Discord, and start live trading from there. So I'll give you guys a minute. Yeah, no problem, Butch. We'll just pull up. Just looking at SPX right now. Not seeing much. Obviously, we had some reversal that happened while we were sleeping. So, yeah, we really want to see 6,400 get reclaimed and potentially work our way higher. So, yeah, probably, hang out 20, 30 minutes. Not in here, I mean just hang out, probably not transact for 20, 30 minutes, see if we get a resolution one way or another. They go from there. So, all right, sweet. I don't see any other questions coming in, so we will transition to the Discord now, and I'll see you guys there. Thanks. Bye.